Hey guys, welcome back to another Lore Olympus discussion. I am Dazzling Kate, and today we are going to be talking about the chess match that Persephone won in season 1. God. I almost forgot about this moment because honestly, everything else was distracting during that time. Now, if you don't know, this match was actually held during season 1 on episode I actually have to check the app right now. I know I'm not good at watching out for this kind of thing, but it was actually in episode 43, which should have hinted towards where this was all going in Persephone's character. And I get it, there needs to be sneaky evil moments for gentle, kind characters who I don't really know, to be honest. I really don't understand. Like, this is really weird to be talking about because I find it weird because of the position that Hades has in the underworld. And of course, the method of choice that Persephone used to get her way. Now, she wanted to get the job in the underworld, and even though Hades said yes, she did the intern and would basically be lying to the other gods and saying that she did, and he, goes ahead and pays her for a position that isn't really well paid, which seems really odd to me that, she could have just done that and not cause a lot of this drama to begin with. And I get it. She does mention that she needs to work her way like her mother has raised her to do, but it just seems really weird that even though Hades said no 2 times, like he made it clear, no, I'm not letting you have a job, she goes ahead and uses the method which I gotta say is I don't really know how, like, why Rachel wrote it like this. Basically, she had Persephone cry, and Hades just let her, have the chess match. And if she won, she would get the job. If she lost, she would accept it. But it's just that in this in this scenario, in this scenario, I find it very odd that he didn't say no a third time and just disagreed to begin with and just left it at that. It could have developed a lot more interesting dynamics between the two instead of just giving in to what Persephone wanted. And it's really odd that despite, despite how he is held in the underworld, now he is, compared to other workers in the underworld, even Thanatos, because he's the god he raised as a child and helped give him the clothes on his back, gave him a job, and even he's even cold towards him, but with a person he doesn't know like Persephone, he just melts in her hands, and it's I really, looking at it now, I back then when I was first reading this, I thought it was kind of cute, but now looking back, I'm just like, she really manipulated Hades into letting her get this job. Like, what the hell? You couldn't just accept the answer with dignity and maybe work your way towards getting a job somewhat connected to the underworld somehow? I don't know. But it just really seemed to paint this image that she was going to do anything in her power to get that job. And compared to another character, we've got Thanatos and Menthe as examples of, characters having, positions, you know, from Hades. And they did, yes, Thanatos got his job because Hades raised him and he figured just giving him giving him a job to fulfill something in the underworld would be, good for the underworld. And then you have what went on with other characters like Menthe. Like, if I remember correctly, she followed her all the way to Hades' domain over her job, like over the cap he took. Man, I gotta remember exactly what happened. Man, I need to remember for a minute. All right, sorry about that. Like, I had to pause this recording, and then I was like, okay, I have to recheck what episode it was, and then I was like, okay, I found it, and basically meant they rushed into the office, being the unstoppable person that she is, and that kind of proves to Hades that she was essentially needed, considering she was easily pissed off. She could push people out as much as she could. I mean, hell, during the time when Persephone was introduced into the office and when they first met, she sent her another way to make sure that Hades didn't get interrupted. Granted, yes, it was a trap to get her lost, and yeah, she should have probably sent her to another building that didn't connect to Kronos. But I think she did her job well with that. Yes, it's a dick move, but would you really want the CEO of your boss getting interrupted for someone who is a minor minor essential in the way of the department as an intern? So basically she really wouldn't I would imagine she does meet a frequent amount of people in the underworld that would be, other nymphs, other creatures of any other sorts that would need to become interns and such, and meant they would definitely have been able to handle them and maybe send them somewhere else to not interrupt Hades or any other higher ups that might be busy, so she kind of knows what she's doing. Granted, yes, there is a lot of people who'll probably be like, but Hades gave her a job out of nowhere too. But it's she is persistent. The way that she speaks and the way that she addresses things, Hades kind of knows what her personality is like, and I'm sure he did find her attractive as well, but not not really wanting to look for a job. There's two differences there. There's a few differences there. Meant they not looking for a job but being pissed off with rent done and you know her losing the job and getting accused of theft. Meanwhile, Persephone is Miss Perfect. Nothing's bad ever happens to her, and Demeter is determined to make sure she gets everything she wants, depending on how well she does for her grades and how well she does to her performance. Hades has never seen Persephone perform. If she can't, it's they had to do a lot of different things to get like Menthe basically stole someone's pass, went to where Hades was, got past the secretary. That is a lot of determination, and she went all the way to the underworld. So to say that, oh well, she doesn't deserve the job, it's she was determined to get her hat back because she needs to make sure that she gets everything finished. Persephone, you don't really see much evidence of her being determined or whatever. It's just a chess game. Her basically using the chess game to get a chance to be an intern. It's sweetie, what the hell? You could have just taken the money and run with it. There's no really point in having you there. And even when she is brought in, she is underqualified to be there. She literally doesn't do well in that environment and clearly struggles, which Hades should have known, and of course Kate should have known as well, considering that there was a lot to do in that position. And the way that in this scene where she's basically crying and such, and Hades looks at her crying, well, she's about to cry. I mean, it's kind of weird because for someone who's supposed to be the ruler of the underworld and has to determine who goes where. Like, oh, you've been a bad person, then you get to go here because you're an asshole. If you're a good person, welcome to where heroes die and stuff. Blah 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 blah. He should be used to seeing people cry whenever they come into his domain. He is used to that kind of sound. So I don't understand why when Persephone cries, it's like, oh wow, she's crying. I gotta make sure she doesn't cry and give in to what she wants. It's kind of weird, especially considering one, he is used to that due to his place in the underworld. Two, he's also a CEO of that, his banking building, blah blah blah. And he's probably seen other employees cry plenty of times. And three, Thanatos. He raised Thanatos. You can't be telling me Thanatos did not cry at least once, you know, or since he has mentioned, you know, throwing like tantrums, being showing attitude in general. You can't be telling me he didn't cry at least a couple of times, especially considering the high position that Hades has and the ability to give his, employees plenty of money. I'm sure Thanatos could have probably manipulated Hades into giving him whatever he wanted, but hey, that's just my thoughts there. So Hades at this point should be immune to that. And I know some people might excuse that with, oh, but Persephone is a romantic interest, and it's totally different for someone, like, like for someone like that to be crying to Hades because she is a romantic interest and he loves her and stuff, blah, blah, blah. He shouldn't want to see her cry. But it's also like, with the amount of stuff he deals with, the stress and other things, I think he should really be as cold as he is towards other people. And I would have rather seen him really be hard, like a hard onion to peel. You don't really get to see the center of it. Like, I guess I'm using Shrek, like Shrek monologues or some shit, but you guys get what I mean. Like, she has to earn her way to like understand the coldness he gives off. Like, there's been like a lot of not many love interests, so I can understand where Hades is like, and it's weird to me considering that since he doesn't have a romantic life aside from Mente, but even before Mente, he's never really seen anyone cry, and I don't think he could really understand it until he's actually in a relationship. And then with Mente, it's just like it's hard to really see that, especially with the depth that they really give Hades and Mente's relationship, but with like Persephone and Hades' relationship, it's just like eh, it's messy. But anyways, the way that Persephone manipulated Hades into giving her a job and tried to act dumb during the chess game, it's just kind of like, what the hell? Like, what the hell? She literally got the job from that. And it does sound like one of those sugar daddy, sugar baby type type like scenarios. Like, oh, if I beat you at this, like you can give me a job, right? And just acting all cutesy and stuff. And then, the sugar daddy gives the girl the job, and it's it when you really look at it, it definitely seems like that. And I don't blame Thanatos for thinking that Persephone is a looking for a sugar daddy. The way that she acts in this, it's just like so strange to me. But anyways, guys, oh my goodness, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, sorry about that, guys. Thumbelina was barking at something. Anyways, give me a minute. Anyways, guys, other than that, I'm just like, I'm not impressed with how this went and how we all know it goes, and it doesn't really show Persephone, accepting that she couldn't get the job. She just decided to use her feelings and man- manipulated her way into getting Hades to agree. And even then, it seems like a hard thing to be able to get the king of the underworld to give in and be like, okay, fine, we'll play a game and do this. Because I don't think a lot of people would approach the idea And I don't think he would really accept that to begin with. Again, I'm not really like sure why Rachel went this route. It seems like if she had done something different, like actually have, you know, Persephone give some kind of like, more effort into getting this position, I think it would have been much more worth it. But considering how it went, she wasn't ready for this type of job, and she should have really worked hard to get into a intern position if they were really going to do that, because the qualifications she has is nowhere on her resume, and clearly if she gets confused on her first day, and I get it, everyone gets confused on their first day, but this is like a big major business, Hades wise, like Greek history wise, with the souls and all of those things. I would imagine Hades would make it like one of the top things, like make sure that the employees he hires would, interns that he brings in would actually be able to keep up with the pace of the environment. Otherwise, I don't think he would really accept anyone into like anything to really pull the other workers down. And again, Persephone has pulled, you know, Menthe down and a lot hey Kate, and like with everything run in the like in that building, I would imagine with what she did in that one building, it would cause a disruption. They would have to reset it, and that would like make days like make lose work days and stuff. It's just like if you really think about it business wise, it's not looking too good with the whole incidents that she's managed to pull in. It doesn't look too good. But whatever. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, and if you were new here, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. But, anyways, stay safe, stay warm, and stay hydrated. This is Dazzling Kate signing the hell out of here.